In the Philippines, the Department of Agriculture said that possible rice importation will be discussed in a meeting on Tuesday. Margot Gonzales reports.
According to the latest data from the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, the amount of damage caused by Typhoon Egay has already reached almost 2 billion pesos. Rice crops, corn, and other high-value crops, as well as livestock, poultry, and fisheries, have been struck with the calamity. President Bongbong Marcos, on the other hand, worries about the country's food security in the aftermath of the typhoon and the potential impact of El Nino. To address these challenges, President Marcos is eyeing a strategic measure that is for rice importation with India to prevent having a shortage.
I'm thinking in terms not only of Region 2 or Region 1, I'm thinking about the national supply for rice. Because ini-import lahat ng Indonesia, nagsara ang Vietnam, maghahanap na naman tayo ng bagong India, nagsara. Pero I think I can make a deal with India. Baka meron tayong mapakiusapan doon. But we have to start importing already. Vietnam says they put na ilabas na raw nila lahat ng kanilang ilalabas. So Thailand pwede pa.
This Wednesday, President Marcos will have an interagency meeting wherein rice importation will be discussed, according to DA spokesperson Rex Estoperes.
We have to finalize, no? Si presidente lang naman ang may authority dyan, no? Yung powers to do that, yung government-to-government deal with India. Tayo naman kasi marami tayong mga relationships so far, no? Yung mga dati natin mga deals with Vietnam, Thailand, and India, and even Pakistan. No?
On the other hand, Estoperes expressed that it's time to widen the government rice production instead of depending on private sectors. The DA is now implementing some interventions such as distributing rice seeds to the affected farmers.
11,871 bags of rice seeds na binigay, 14,426 bags of corn seeds, and 2,582 kilograms of assorted vegetable seeds. Ito yung mga tinamaan ng Egay din sa CAR, yung Cordillera Administrative Region, Region 1, 2, and 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Region 6, and Region 13.
The agency also assures that government still has enough and fair rice to be distributed to the affected residents. For my country and beloved Philippines, this has been Margot Gonzales, SMNA News.
The Philippines and the European Union have forged a stronger bilateral relationship after the meeting between President Bongbong Marcos and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Meanwhile, discussions on trade, maritime security, and climate change were tackled by PBBM and the European Commission President. Creselyn Catarong has the news.
The Philippine government and the European Commission solidified their commitment to a stronger bilateral relationship. This comes after a successful and productive bilateral meeting between President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the Malacanang Palace on July 31st. This occasion marks the first visit of an EU Commission President to the Philippines.
Madame von der Leyen and I concluded a successful and productive bilateral meeting. This is the first visit to the country by the President of the European Commission.
President Marcos stated that the Philippines and the EU agreed to expand trade and enhance cooperation in climate change, maritime security, and green economy. Investment and cooperation within the Global Gateway Strategy were also discussed. The strategy aims to address infrastructure needs in digital, energy, and transportation sectors among partner countries. The chief executive also mentioned that he welcomes the scoping exercises this year between the European Commission and the Philippines towards negotiations for a Philippines-EU Free Trade Agreement or FTA.
The Philippine government experts will work with the European Commission in achieving a bilateral FTA.
European Commission President von der Leyen stated that the free trade agreement holds great potential for both the Philippines and the EU in terms of job opportunities and development.
Our teams will get to work right now on setting the right conditions so that we can get back to the negotiations. A free trade agreement has huge potential for both of us in terms of growth and in terms of jobs.
Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen witnessed the signing of a bilateral agreement for the joint declaration on the Green Economy Program between the Philippines and the European Union. Signing the bilateral agreement were Department of Environment and Natural Resources Secretary Maria Antonio Yulo Laizaga and Ambassador of the European Union to the Philippines, Locke Veron.
On development cooperation, we committed to conclude a financing agreement on the Green Economy Program in the Philippines, a grant worth 60 million euros, which aims to support the Philippines in areas such as circular economy, renewable energy, and climate change mitigation.
President Marcos also acknowledged the EU's strong support for the Bangsamoro peace process. He also highlighted the progress of the Philippines in terms of rule of law and justice, agriculture, space cooperation, and disaster management. The President also expressed his gratitude to the EU Commission for their dedication to expanding recognition of the standards of training certification and watchkeeping for seafarers certificates issued by the Philippines. President Marcos emphasized that this has a positive impact on the jobs of over 50,000 Filipino seafarers working on EU-flagged vessels. For God and for my beloved Philippines, this has been Cresceline Catarong, SMNI News.